got a little bit of northerly in it, which does tend to make it quite cool. About 10 to 12 knots at the moment. That may increase throughout the day. Currently, if you look up, the cloud base where it's solid is around about 3,000 to 4,000 feet. As the afternoon wears on, that may get a little bit lower. Hopefully nothing too significant, nothing that will seriously adversely affect the flying display, but we will obviously keep you in touch with that. Slight chance of a shower, especially as we get towards the end of the afternoon. So it's not perfect, but it's not bad either. But of course safety is our prime consideration throughout the day, and with a few do's and don'ts, Jonathan.
Thanks, Andy, and I guess for so many of you here, there is always the chance that one or two of your group might get separated, and we thought of that. You may well have been given an armband, a wristband for your child as you came in to the base today. Please try and use that if possible, attach it to your child's wrist, and if there are any problems, then head to the public information tent, and indeed that's the place to go, as I say, if you lose someone, or if we find someone that should be with you, they will be at the public information tent. Where is the public information tent? It's in front of the air traffic control tower. You can't miss it. It's a brightly coloured white and yellow striped tent, and the guys there full of information for you, full of helpful advice. There's also a big water dispenser there, so if you've got some refillable water containers today, as Andy was saying, it's not exactly warm, but you might like to drink from your water bottle, then you can go and refill it at that public information tent. So it's a great place to know about. It's also where you can pick up your pre-ordered programs. That's the place to go if you pre-ordered your program to pick up.
You've got a pair of Atlas C1s that are direct coming back from Normandy and D-Day commemorations to fly through here at Cosford en route back to Briars Norton, and they'll be followed by an example of the Airbus Voyager tanker transport. Again, I'm going to perform a number of safety checks that we have to do before we start displaying. So it's to ensure that the aircraft is operating properly when it's inverted, so the whole system is working, for example. And it's also a matter of having the pilot ready. So I'm going to do what we call a G warm-up. I'm going to do a couple of maneuvers just to make sure I can sustain the Gs, and then it will be running in, and off we go for the display.
And what does it mean to you to display here at Cosford? 55,000.
Yeah, it's impressive, but once you're in the routine, you know, you don't think about the crowd anymore. You think about your trajectory, your speed, your altitudes, and only when you're on the ground, safely taxiing back, then you see the people and wave at the crowd, and you're back to reality. I would say. But yeah, that's Cosford, and the team at Cosford is fantastic. So I just wanted to pass my appreciation to them as well. Great bunch of people. Get this air show running for so many years.
And I've waited 12 months to say this, but congratulations, because last year you won the top award for the best display at Cosford.
Yeah, so this was very, very special. As mentioned before, I am a big military aviation enthusiast. I wanted to be a fighter pilot, but wings clipped because my eyesight was not good enough, but I kept, doing aviation in a different way. And last year at Cosford, out of the blue, I was awarded the Bill Archery Memorial Trophy, which is the best display act in front of people I was looking up for many years. So it was very emotional, very special, and that's why Cosford will always remain to me something very, very special as an air show and as a bunch of people. So thank you so much.
Lovely to see you, and look forward to seeing your display.
Thank you, Jonathan. Have fun, and I hope everybody will have a great day out here in the Midlands. So Christoph will be our second display this morning. The first display, we are just a few minutes away. I'm sure you've been tracking the aircraft, and to tell you all about it, it is my pleasure to hand you over to the commentator for the Royal Air Force Falcons, his Master Aircrew, Gaz Attridge. Thank you, Andy, and good morning, everybody. And see the A400. They'll be doing a run across the airfield to do a final spot on the drop zone, making sure that the team is finally ready. What's going on board at the moment is final preparations. All of the parachutists are at the back, and we'll be jumping off the ramp of the A400 today. And what they'll be doing now is going through their final checks of all their equipment. making sure that all the necessary straps, buckles, harnesses are all done up, and they do a buddy-buddy system where they check each other to make sure that all those checks have been finalised. Ian Lyons, he will be talking to the pilots at the front of the aircraft, and they'll be discussing the final calculations for the run-in to allow for the parachutists to use the wind today to arrive at the right destination in front of you on the drop zone. As mentioned earlier, we are very lucky to be jumping from the A400 today. It is a first public display for the RAF Falcons. We have already jumped from the A400 during practice, so this isn't the first ever jump. However, this is our first public display, so we're very proud to be part of the Royal Air Force family, jumping here today in front of you at Cosford. Ordinarily, we would jump from a number of different platforms, and our mainstay is an aircraft, for those familiar, called a Dornier 228, which is a much smaller but very highly capable aircraft, and a fixed-wing variety that we use for training, and we jump out the side doors. But we can also jump from rotary aircraft as well, and in the past have jumped here, for those of you who've been before, from the mighty Chinook. I've just heard on the live comms from the drop zone safety officer that's been cleared in for 2 minutes. So that's 2 minutes to drop. The red light will be back in the back of the aircraft. They are now lining up. Please look up to your left-hand side to see the mighty Atlas with the RAF Falcons on board.
Tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward.
I think it'll turn hard. I don't think they didn't.
When knowledge dispels,
Yeah, it has to turn for
you will discover the boundless courage within you, soaring beyond limits you never knew existed. To dare is to do. You are about to witness a display by one of the world's greatest military parachute display teams. Get your cameras ready. It's time for the Royal Air Force Falcons.
And eyes to the skies there, gentlemen, because here they go. Smoke is activated, the ramp is open. They're pumping fists, they are ready to go. Presenting to you in 30 seconds, the 2024 Royal Air Force Falcons Parachute Display Team. And there they go, parachutists coming down now, out of the sky, trailing their red smoke. What we're looking for today is 9 canopies. And one of those canopies, or one parachutist, will be sliding this place as our flag bearer. So we're expecting that, but look for the formation as they immediately get together. And we have 9 good canopies. So immediately into the snake formation. One parachutist lining up behind the other so they can immediately get into formation behind each other, behind the coach. And into our carousel maneuver. This is a really good one for the cameras, ladies and gentlemen. It's extremely hard manoeuvre for the team to carry out. They are following each other very, very closely in formation under the leadership of the coach. They break out now into a sabre chase. One parachute is behind the other as they identify the drop zone. And the single parachute you can see at the top is flying the red, white and blue of the Union flag, and that is OC Falcons, that is Flight Lieutenant Jen Littler. All the time the team are under the guidance of the team coach.
Previous hold runway, alright on the base, to the left now, right on one time, please, David.
So as they come into land then, please give a huge round of applause for leading the team, Flight Sergeant Liam Lyons, Sergeant Sean McKay, Sergeant Andy Lynch, Sergeant Mike Atkinson, Sergeant Gabe Coleman Moffat, Sergeant Greg Ashleby, Sergeant Owen Collins, Sergeant Marcus Shields, and last but very not least is OC Falcons Flight Lieutenant Jennifer Littler with the Union flag. So ladies and gentlemen, as the final member of the team safety touches down, please give a huge round of applause and a cheer for the RAF Falcons. They haven't quite finished yet though. What they will do now is the Falcon salute, so they're going to show here today. Here today at Cosford as well in the military village, in the RAF village. Do come over, do meet the team. They're all going over to there at 12:30. You can get your brochure signed there, autograph signed. We've got lots of freebies, and we've got our virtual realities parachute simulator, which you can have a go on and see what it's like to be a parachutist. So again, please share your images on social media. Do come and talk to us. And we look forward to seeing you around the country and overseas throughout our season. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time, thank you very much for the RAF Falcons 2024. Making that possible, and if all goes to plan, we'll see A400s later on. And in fact, here's the chance now as to finish the Falcons display is a fast, low fly past A400M Atlas.
Shot through there and then flipping idiot stood up.
And then stood up, yeah.
Literally, I didn't get it. I
over
just
the top
went
of it.
over the top of him and then stood up.
Well, I'm sure you'll agree with me, that was something very, very special. And a special thanks to Master Aircrew Gazatri for that commentary. We are in a slightly different commentary setup from previous years. We're used to having a transparent roof. We had a solid roof this year, so that was quite entertaining, as there were four heads leaning out to all four sides of the commentary position to crane skyward to try and spot the Falcons as they exited the aircraft.
Yeah, they really low. We get like
Same, we got F-15
The recent exercises include Venture Spirit, Crisis Response exercise held at both RAF Lossiemouth in Scotland and also RAF Hoddington in Suffolk. It is now time to look to your left-hand side. What a glorious sight this is. From the Royal Air Force Mobility Force, a pair of A400M Atlas aircraft.
Let's cap off that.
A glorious sight indeed, the two aircraft now heading south, heading back towards RAF Norton, their home base. In RAF service, this is a tactical and strategic airlift aircraft operated by 2 pilots and 1 weapons systems operator. Has the ability to carry 25 tons of payload, a range of 2,000 nautical miles, and it can operate from fairly rough and unprepared strips, in addition to beaches, where I'd certainly witnessed myself. The aircraft landed on Penhale Sands down in the West Country. The capability has steadily improved throughout the years, very capable aircraft. Very quickly the Royal Air Force has come to depend on it, as of course it did with the C-130 Hercules, and as we were here last year we were looking towards the end of the C-130. Indeed, the aircraft is already running in. If you look to your left hand side, again our great thanks to Royal Air Force Prize Norton, the home of the Air Mobility Force, for bringing these aircraft to us. I think this will again just be a single flyby, short but very sweet. Once you watch this aircraft, perhaps just think these aircraft are in operations and on exercises around the world, as they always are. Also on standby to support the quick reaction allied typhoons. From the left, Royal Air Force Voyager.
Voyager.
Yeah, that's when most of the...
Oh, I feel like just a normal plane spot.
I'm sure normally the Voyager does get the red arrow.
Voyager. You'll note it's the one known as Vespina, which was refurbished to provide a transport for government ministers and the royal family on global missions, but also able, of course, to undertake the type's regular roles, air-to-air refuelling and personnel transport. The fleet's operated by numbers 10 and 101 squadrons from Rise, which were of course the old DC-10 units. You can see that reflected in the museum here. Well, I'm sure like me, you're looking forward to seeing the RAF aerobatic display team, the Red Arrows, coming up in around 20 minutes from now. It's their 60th anniversary this year, and they're back to full strength with 9 aircraft. Recently, I spoke to the team's commanding officer, Wing Commander Adam Collins. Seeing the jets arrive in diamonds, and the additional decal on the aircraft is actually quite subtle. We've got a red 60 logo on the fin, and we've got one on the fuselage stating that it's diamond season. But it is a very good display this year. It's always a good display, but this year especially, we're really capitalising on the Diamond 9. There's a few manoeuvres in there that haven't been seen. One particular